problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. I've been so my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't right it. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumping. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. Whole squad like.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Mike, 44. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Check. Check out route. I-25. I-29. 2-6. 44's Mike. 44's Mike. Check.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And his first look is incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
You better break it forward. Mike's 50. I got him.
Throwing again is Watson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike. Mike 22. You remember me? Mike 24. Hayward. Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike. Hey, check.
And that'll set him back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Mike 22. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Mike 22 too far. He's coming, Mike. Watch the run. Mike 22.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And all the way up to the 47-yard line. A huge play there for Houston. 42 yards.
For the Texans, first down. First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a first and 10.
I smell fear in that offense. Switch. One. 58, boys. 58. 58 to Mike. Too little, Captain. 58 to Mike. 58. 58 to Mike. And we're trying to go.
From the gun, here's Watson. Flush to his right. And this one complete to Will Fuller. A little over 20 yards there, and in 2 plays, they've now moved the ball over 60 yards.
That's another Texan.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Foles and the Jags come up now first and 10 at their 25-yard line. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. He'll have a first down past the 40. 34 yards there and a first down. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
On second and 11 now. Foles out to Cole on the right side. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So on 4th down, Jags kicker Josh Lambo comes on. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
At the 29-yard line.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now it's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
It's a gain of 8. And the Texans, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Watson now already over 100 yards passing in just this 1st quarter. It's 1st and 10.
Check Mike, check Mike. 50's the Mike. 50's the Mike. Scared. Mike 50, Mike 50. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
From the gun, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Mike 54. Mike 50. You go night-night. Go night-night. 54. 50, Mike 50.
Here's Watson. Gonna throw again. Forced out to his left. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
There's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
They can't hang with us. Hey, alert. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it. Here we go. Let's go.
Again, it's Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Foles. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one good for 26 and a first down.
First down, Jacksonville.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, right at the 40. Fournette running out of the gun. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Here's Foles. He'll get that to DeValve, the tight end. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 7 at the 22-yard line.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Leonard Fournette. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Benardrick McKinney, a first-time Pro Bowler a season ago, in on the tackle there. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Foles. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown. Jaguars. D.D. Westbrook, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Throw left side complete. It's Fuller. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Mike 42.
To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going to air one out. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Go with 5-3. Go with 5-3. Here we go.
On second and 11 now. Foles. He's set. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they... drop him.
A gain of 37 yards. First down, Jaguars.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the run, it's Fournette. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. They'll toss it to Fournette. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. Back to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season.
Mike's Fofo. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And now it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50. We don't want this. Mike.
Now Watson. Operating from the gun. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10.
Here we go. Under 10. Hey, now look up. Hey, we got Mike 50. Mike 50, huh? I'm here.
Operating from the gun. Watson. Incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike. I'm coming. Mike 22.
Watson from the gun, he'll throw. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves?
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Well, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Open man is Westbrook, complete. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll set up to throw. Flushed out right. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
He'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Intended for D.B. Westbrook. Incomplete. It's 4th down and goal at the 2-yard line.
So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off.
The Texans take
Here we
over
go.
first
Here we
and
go.
10.
Here we go.
They're on 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's a first down throw that's complete. But he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Fournette. Give the tackle there to Keon Crossan.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack. The Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation instead. Tried to get it all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long, thought he needed the deep pass, couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's Watson. Buying time to his left. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. From the end zone, Watson dancing to his left. Pushing his way through, and he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
Slam, slam, slam. Hey, 31! 24 is down, he's coming.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
It's just me and you. Short. Me and you. Max 22, Max 22. I got
Watson now to throw again. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one, 44 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. And between the last two plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check safety, check safety.
They'll run it with Johnson. About 3 yards there to the 27.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll roll him out right. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kenny Stills, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lee. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
First down, Jaguars.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught.
Let's go. Let's do it.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Foles now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run with Fournette. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A pass there, complete to Westbrook. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6. And it's 3rd.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. He'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time.
A gain of 9.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Foles going to come up now, 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Back to throw here. And his pass incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Foles, throw left side complete. That's Lee. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
And it's 3rd down.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the ground. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Whitney, merciless, picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
But enough Texas start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Got an open man, Keelan Cole. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. Fournette running right. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
But it's 3rd down.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Watch the screen. Here we go.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And Lambeau will put this one through. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Again, it's Johnson. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Watson with a catch made by Johnson. The 3rd down run gets him nothing. 1 score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hey, 24. Mike's 4-2. Mike's 4-2. Defense, win 6. 42 to Mike, boys. 42.
Here we go on 4th. Watson. And an alley to run. And now the rookie's free. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation, turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Keep it up. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Watch the run, watch the run. Mike's 50.
Fresh off the pick 6, it's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game, and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back, and let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now it's Watson. He's got Fuller, and all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one, 41 yards. In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks, only Drew Brees in the same. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A.J. Boye with a pick. Stills the intended target.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Into the hands of Lee on the jet sweep. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is Fournette. And an alley to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Watch the out, watch the out.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Fournette. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
One final kneel down here, and that should just about do it. Good bounce-back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realized there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through, and they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Jags, it was a great all-around performance as they come out.